Rolling.
We're rolling. Awesome. Thank you, Matthew. So welcome to the October National Sales Call. This is John Cooper on the line here. We've got some good information for you today, and as usual, we have all of our attendees muted, so we keep the background noise to a minimum. Please use the chat feature should you have questions during our webinar today, and we'll certainly answer those. We will record this and send the recording out later this afternoon for anyone that may have missed it, or if you're so excited about watching it again, you can certainly do so. So with that, we're going to jump right in. Here's our agenda, which is our typical agenda. We'll start with opening comments, talk about 16 sales results, new business wins, our OGI, and then we'll close it out with closing comments. We're targeting 25 to 30 minutes today. We have a relatively short crew. Joe is traveling today on business along with Fred Basana. I think they're in the desert visiting the Palm Desert office and then heading to Yuma. So we'll be filling in for both of those guys as best we can overall. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I will do the opening comments here. First and foremost, I'd like to welcome the Greenpoint Insurance Group to the team. We're very, very excited about having the Greenpoint team as part of the Ascension family now. We closed this acquisition last Friday, and we sent the press release out today via the PR Newswire. So hopefully you've seen that. A quick overview of Greenpoint, a really energetic and entrepreneurial team that will join Ascension. Really excited about having everyone in Greenpoint with us. Greenpoint's about $5.1 million in annual revenue, a blend of commercial and personal revenue, as you see here. They provide a great, strong platform in Virginia to support our future growth. Wayne Eastham and team have got a fantastic office in Warrenton as well as Marshall, and we're looking to grow the rest of the state of Virginia out as well with their input and their local knowledge there. It also strengthens our North Carolina footprint with offices in both High Point, North Carolina, and Lexington. We do plan to combine the High Point and existing Greensboro Ascension office, probably early Q1 17. So more to come there. And Greenpoint also brings very attractive new carrier partners to us as well. So we couldn't be happier with the transaction. You do see the Carr and Hyde name here. That's their trade name for the Virginia franchise, and Greenpoint for North Carolina. Hopefully you'll get to meet these folks as we move forward throughout the year. I'm sure they'll be at the national sales meeting in February as well. So again, welcome Wayne and team to Ascension family. We look forward to working with you for sure. A quick save the date for our 2017 national sales meeting. We're going back to the Westin Lake Las Vegas. That is February 8 to 10, 2017. Again, it's a Wednesday to Friday. More information will be forthcoming around travel plans and details, but it will be much like last year, arrive early afternoon Wednesday, depart around lunch on Friday. We'll also name the planning committee in our next national sales call next month. And then our national sales meeting qualifying criteria, we shared this last month, 3 criteria: validated producers with a 2-year average of 75,000 or more, or validated producers with 125 and 16 are eligible to attend. And then non-validated producers in good standing and meeting their established objectives are also welcome to attend. So more to come on our national sales meeting for 17. Also, we launched our Q4 sales contest. I believe it was Thursday of last week, the race for the Rolex. So an exciting Q4 contest here. Much like last year, the contest period is October 1 to December 31, and it's new annualized revenue with effective dates during the contest period. So very similar to what we did last year, and it's really all about closing out the year strong. So we'll award the prizes at the 2017 National Sales Meeting. First place will be an Ascension Orange Rolex, which I think everyone got to see last year. We'll do an Apple Watch, an Ascension G-Shock in 4th place, and the Glen Ross family is a set of steak knives, which will be fun to give out. So we hope that creates some excitement, and this certainly could be you in 2017. I'm not sure you'll have quite as much fun as Jonathan Lancaster, but that orange Rolex looks really good on his wrist. So work hard for the Rolex. And last but not least, in opening comments, I'd like to announce our Summit Sales Contest winners from the Summer Sales Contest. This was the producer side. Congratulations to Julie Daly with 640,000 points for winning. Kevin McCarroll in Team ACS with 379,000 points was second place, and then Janice Briggs with 320 from Team ACS. So we've got some fabulous prizes for the three of you. You see on the right-hand side, there's the new Bose Noise Canceling Quiet Comfort 35 wireless headphones. All of you will receive the Bose headphones, and we'll have a gift card as well for Julie and Kevin. I think it's from Amazon. So congratulations on winning the Summer Sales Contest there, and enjoy your new headphones and a little cash to play with. So that will move us into an overview of where we are for 2016 and our sales goals. We see this on a regular basis in Salesforce, but now's the time for us to walk through that in detail. Here's our written new business by month as well as annual. This was ran yesterday, so that puts us at $7,192,000 for the year, which is a little over 85% of our goal. So congratulations for great work year to date. If you look at September, we missed September significantly, a goal of 902,000 for an actual of 308. We did see this coming well in advance with our weak coverage ratio, so please pay attention to the coverage ratios, your own personal as well as ours corporately, because that's the best leading indicator we have for whether or not we'll hit our goal or come close. So October, November, and December, we're off to a good start with October at 227. You'll see our pipeline coverage ratio is 1.4 times. We lost $2.2 million of pipeline for 10-1. And I'm not sure exactly, as I look through that, I see some deals that are still pending that may need to be moved to future effective dates, because I know we're still in the game, and some that we may have lost. So I'll ask everyone to take a look at their October 1 pipeline to determine if there are deals that need to be pushed forward or to another date or potentially closed out as lost. But that certainly changed our pipeline coverage ratio for the month of October with losing the $2.2 million. A quick look at written new business by business unit here. So well, this does not have Georgia again. For some reason, every time I put it in slideshow mode, Georgia falls out of there. But a big shout out to Team ACS for exceeding their goal, as well as Pan Am and Fresno. Georgia is at 87% of their goal. For some reason, it's not showing here. They're close on the heels of exceeding their annual sales goal. So keep up the good work down there in Georgia, gang. A quick look at our pipeline analysis on remaining sales team, our sales teams with remaining sales goal. Bottom area here in the red is our current pipeline ratio, coverage ratio. So just under 1 times for WRB, around 1.6 for Georgia, and 2.7 for North Carolina. So clearly we need additional pipeline to hit our targeted goal of 5 times coverage ratio. So please take a quick look at your pipeline, make sure everything's included, and get Salesforce updated as soon as possible, please. Last slide on pipeline is this is our year-over-year coverage. We've got great year-over-year coverage in our business units. We just need additional coverage to have our 5 times ratio there. So please continue to focus on your pipeline as we get closer to the end of the year. The better information we have, the better we can forecast how we'll close out the year. And then last but not least, in our 16 numbers, here's a quick look at our sales goal leaderboard, which we started to look at a couple of months back. So these are the folks that had 100% or better of their annual sales goal. Congratulations to this group. Great work year to date. Please continue to push hard and finish out the year strong. But also congratulations to this group. Here is our group between 50 and 100% of their sales goal. Several folks are knocking on the door of their goal. Ray Avila, Jonathan Lancaster, Yogi, etc. So continue to push hard and exceed your sales goal for 2016, and also maybe win the Rolex. And last but not least, this is our group that is less than 50% of the annual sales goal. So I see a bunch of historically strong Q4 performers in this group that I expect to be on that first slide, hopefully in the next couple of months. So if your name's here, please continue to push hard and let us know what we can do to help you meet or exceed your annual sales goal. Okay, next I'm going to kick it over to our sales leadership team to talk through some recent new business wins. Fred's traveling today, so Jonathan McGann is going to walk through both the East and the West for us today. So McGann, I'm going to kick it over to you now.
Thanks, Coop. I've got some good sort of war stories from the field. I always enjoy this section of the call. The first one is Jonathan Lancaster. This is an account that is near and dear to my heart. It's actually my personal relationship on the P&C side. We had sort of the perfect storm, I call it, on the benefits, where our prior relationship manager left the firm in August. About the same time, he delivered a 55% increase on their Blue Cross renewal, and his departure left a huge vacuum where Lancaster and Tony and his team stepped in and really did yeoman's work. For those of us in the P&C business, 30 or 60 days prior to a renewal is eons, but for benefits folks that are on the phone, they know that there's enrollments and a lot of communication and information that needs to be brought forth from the carrier and the client, and Jonathan did a heck of a job. So those two numbers at the bottom, we rarely talk about retention on this call, but it was a save of $35,000 in revs, and actually after they did some ancillary add-ons, and we don't have the final number yet because they're still finalizing the renewal, there'll be between $7,500 and $10,000 in additional revenue with the ancillary that we picked up. So excellent work, Jonathan. Thank you personally on my behalf for this account. It gets him to 142 on the year, so one more hit and he'll be on his way to Mexico. So great job, Jonathan and team. Next one, staying in Greensboro, is Sean Kelly. This name, Todd Sharp Trucking, you might recognize. We picked up the casualty by broker of record in May. Again, continues our demonstration of our transportation expertise. But Sean stayed on it, stayed persistent. Their physical damage and motor truck cargo renewed on 10/1. And I just heard on our call on Friday that we picked that up. Again, a little over $10,000 in revs at 12.5 actually. So wonderful work, Sean and team, on staying on that one. And last but not least, from the East region is a Georgia win. Georgia's on fire. They're really doing well, certainly year-to-date through 16. Looking forward to a big Q4 for them. But this was a prior relationship of Bruce's, $7,000 in revs, and he's got some LTD and STD to come. I think it shows consistency, his knowledge, and certainly tenure in the market that we won that. That picture is actually him from he coaches a lacrosse team. They won the national championship. So in his spare time, he sells insurance. So thank you, Bruce, and a job well done. And now to the West. I actually had a wonderful conversation with Tony this morning about this win. A couple of lessons learned here is don't burn bridges, and technical service sells. We had actually lost this account, Santiago Farm Labor, to a strong James G. Parker, a strong competitor in California. They had really focused on ACA compliance and had taken the work comp by broker of record letter in their value prop, something that we're trying to do when we go out and attack accounts. So we were shot by one of our own arrows, if you will. But to Tony's credit, he didn't let his ego get in the way. He didn't burn the bridge. He stayed in touch. Whenever he was in town, he would call the guy and swing in and see how they did. And as many new relationships do, they waned off. After the first year or so, they weren't getting the service. They weren't getting the love that they used to get with us. Tony deployed his son Nestor. They actually went out and did some free safety work that the client wasn't getting or was missing after he had left us, and that really led to this win back, which we just picked up on record letter back with FISM where it belongs, and $26,000 in revenue. So good job, Tony. And actually, as I was talking to him, he has another deal, about 42 in revs, teetering on a 10-1. So everybody send him some good mojo, and maybe we'll see him on next month's call as well. So nice job in the West there, Tony. And last but not least is Western Region Benefits on the board, Sean Borchardt. Again, a former relationship that had gone away. We see a lot of this in the East as well, where you get the ADPs and the paychecks doing a bundled approach where they'll do ACA reporting and payroll service and benefits. They kind of roll it all up in a nice ball and sell it as a consolidated product. What happens, though, is sometimes all that together isn't as good as we may be individually. So, again, a vote on the persistence column. Sean stayed with it, listened to the client, realized they were having service issues on the benefits, and was lucky enough to pick up the pieces or sort of be that on-deck broker that when the pain got great enough, they were coming to us and not putting it out on the street. So wonderful job. 35 in revs is a significant piece of business and definitely helping us get to our 8.3 goal. So thank you, Sean and team. And with that, I'll pass it back to Coop. Thanks, John.
Awesome. Thanks, McGann, for the good work in the East on those, as well as filling in for Fred. Big shoes to fill there, but you did a nice job. Thank you. So we'll transition our call now into our organic growth initiative. We call this our Ascension Sales Playbook as well, and we look at the value proposition on a regular basis. We're taking a step back from that this month. We've got some sales training that we're going to have next week in Charlotte and the following week in Fresno. This is something that we put in place earlier this year. We heard from the field that we need to continue to work on our overall sales skills, role play, learn new things to close deals, etc. So we engaged Scholl Baker Partners to assist with that, rolled out sales training in the April and May timeline, both East and West, and we're going to follow it up again next week. So I've asked George Lucas to join us today just for a few minutes and walk through what he's going to share with us in Charlotte as well as Fresno, just to give you a little peek of what we're going to talk about. So George, take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Coop. Looking forward to being with the folks in Charlotte next week, and if I knew if I worked long enough and hard enough, sooner or later I'd earn my way to Fresno. So it's going to be great to be with the folks out there. There has been pre-work put together for this. JD and Fred and I worked on that. If you haven't yet received an email and you're anticipating attending, you will get one shortly. The big piece of the pre-work is to bring a case that you've met with this prospect at least one time, and you have yet to really fully advance the deal to where we're waiting for a decision. Because in this learning experience, as I like to call it, we're going to take a look at, you've all seen pieces of it from, or most of you have, from the prospect pursuit campaigns, which are still incredibly important. If you've been exposed to those in the past and you're not running those today, I have to ask one fundamental question, which is why. That's where that pipeline coverage that Coop was touching on before comes from. So many producers in the fourth quarter get a feeling that, well, if I close everything I'm working on, I'm going to have a good year. And we all know that's just not going to happen. And to feed the front end of the pipeline is incredibly important. But we're going to take a look at it all the way from fine-tuning your prospect pursuit campaign skills. We've got some new ideas there as well, to looking at the whole sales process from first meeting to PAM or discovery meeting to conversion discussion, because we're increasingly working to position the move to Ascension not as a sale but as a conversion. It tends to amaze us how little middle market and upper end smaller market clients understand about the process, how little they understand about the role of the carrier versus the broker, and how little they recognize in terms of what it takes to do a conversion to a different advisor. We certainly, throughout all of this, are going to put the focus on the advisory and consultative approach, consultative skills, and do a clear job through the risk profile cycle and the benefits cycle that many of you have seen before of differentiating what a broker does versus what a risk or benefits advisor does. A question that I'm feeding the field on a regular basis that seems to be getting some very good traction is the question of are they doing the right thing? Are they doing things right, looking at the incumbent, or are they doing the right things right at the right time? So, you know, they're happy with their incumbent broker because they're continuing to deliver around renewal dates and enrollment meetings and renewal times, but are they throughout the year really being the advisor that they need? So we'll touch on the assume, transfer, and mitigate process. As you see there, the ATM and how that plays out, feed you some more questions around that, as well as on the EB side, the financial, administrative, compliance, engagement, and technology, how those 5 pieces of the puzzle are being utilized to improve their results on their benefit side. And we're going to highlight a lot of topics. We are going to devote and protect a good bit of time to role play, because that's one of the strongest things that I see in the Ascension culture, and certainly kudos to Fred and JD for continuing to promote this, is the need to role play to hone our skills. So the latter part of both sessions will be devoted to a significant amount of role play time where you're bringing those real world cases where we have an opportunity to advance the ball. As has been said earlier, the fourth quarter, where we're sitting right now, early October, is not too late to bring some of these opportunities to the finish line. We're not tied to X dates. I hear so many producers say, oh, we got to take our time and build a relationship. Well, they need a business relationship. You're not going to undo a 20-year personal relationship unless you're willing to sit on the sidelines for 15 or 20 years to duplicate that. So that's where we're really going to put our emphasis, because there is opportunity to close business. There is opportunity to put that Rolex on your wrist as well. I would ask, if you haven't read it in advance of coming to the session, and again, I'm going to be in Charlotte on the 12th. I know JD has some activities put together for the 11th. And then in Fresno, I'm going to be with you all out west from about 1 to 5 on the 18th, and then about 8:30 to a little after 2 on the 19th. If you have not yet read The Cost of Ignorance, and I know some of you have, some of you haven't, please, please, please get that done over the course of the next week to 10 days. It's by Robert Phelan. And it's written through the eyes of a medium-sized business owner, and really helps you understand where they're coming from. So it's going to be an action-packed day in Charlotte. It's going to be an action-packed day for and a half over in Fresno. A lot of work's gone into the front end, and it'll be meaningful for you in terms of reaching your goals. Coop, back to you.
Awesome. George, thank you so much for that overview. I look forward to seeing you next week, having a little fun in Charlotte, as well as a training session. So thank you for your time there. Again, this came from the field that we need to continue to invest in sales training. All of us can improve our skills as we go forward. So here's an opportunity for us to do that, and I think it'll be great to end up 2016 with. So again, George, thank you. So next on our agenda is our 2017 sales planning process, which we kicked off last month. The sales planning process is the same format as last year, with one question added. Templates are out, etc. We're toward the end of this. The timeline is here. We're in those last 2 bullet points, the review of the consolidated sales plans. We're rolling those up now to see where we stand for the year. Our first cut of the budget is due to our board by the end of October, So we'll need to be finalizing this over the next 8 to 10 days so that the finance team can roll that into our budget and share that with the board. So thank you for all the good work to get your sales plans to where they are today and into your sales leadership team. We'll continue to refine those and roll those up. As we talked about last month, new and different for our 17 sales planning process is a presentation of your 2017 sales plan. We heard this from the team that it's good to be able to present this, to run it by other people, to share what's worked, maybe what's not worked in other sales plans. So we've devoted some time in our sales training sessions that we have scheduled for Charlotte next week, as well as in Fresno the following week, to have certain sales team members present their sales plans. So look out for an email from your sales leader about that. And this is a great opportunity for you to really understand your sales plan well and to share that with others and have feedback there to really button up your plan for a successful 2017. So I think that's a really cool and neat way to finalize this process, and I look forward to some of those conversations in the next couple of weeks. Okay, last but not least, George touched on this. As you know, we roll up a PPC schedule every year, and we commit to PPCs by month. So these are the October PPC launches. So please work closely with your sales leader to get these out, to build a pipe for Q1 and Q2 2017. These are of utmost importance to get your pipeline going. So please make sure that's done and out on a timely basis. So that brings us to the end of our call. Again, our Summit Club is scheduled for April 27th to 30th next year at the New Zook Resort and Spa. To the right is our Summit Club leaderboard here, the folks that have qualified. A huge, huge shout out to Marco Figueroa. Moved onto the leaderboard this month at $156,000 in new revenue. Congratulations to Marco. There's some talk about Marco being Rookie of the Year this year with his great performance, and I think he's well positioned for that. So congratulations, Marco. Several folks are knocking on the door: Jonathan Lancaster, Michael Stallone, Kristen Aldaco. They're close, and I expect in the November call we'll probably see their names on this list as well. So with that, I'll leave you with a couple of items and we'll close the call. Please focus on your pipeline to get that accurate for Q4 so that we know exactly what's out there as we look to exceed our $8.3 million in revenue, as well as any Q4 deals. Please let us know what we can do to help you get those across the line. As you know, we hit our sales goal last year in late November, and we'd certainly like to do that again this year. So please help us push hard and run through the finish line to hit 8.3. With that, we'll call this call closed after 28 minutes, so right on time. Have a great day, and thank you for your time.